Chukuma Soludo, CFR. Nenu, Mr. Governor. Gone on the TTI.
Walona Professor Walona Professor Soludo na bambo kajava kubo Soludo na bambo kaimuta kubo Walona Professor Asimu Walona Professor Anambra can you kene Soludo Oh you no free education on law smart schools Oh no more than 8,000 teachers in all Oh they you go on a minimum wage Umakuwa Anambra ni na babo digital Ani no si world map Ndinkuzi laptop Umakuwa pampo Otelumbaga chukwaso Ifedika ginya kwa Anambra chacha Walona Professor
Tolia Mr. Solution.
Walona Professor
Tolia Mr. Solution.
Soludo na bambo kaimuta kubo Walona Professor Asimu Walona Professor
Yes, sir. Mr. Governor of Anambra State is here. The people's governor. The game changer is here. The rave of the moment. The trailblazer.
Walona Professor Asimu Walona Professor Anambra can you kene Soludo Oh you no free education on law smart schools Oh no more than 8,000 teachers in all Oh they you go on a minimum wage
Now to the Mr. Solution.
Ani no si world map Ndinkuzi laptop Umakuwa pampo Otelumbaga chukwaso Ifedika ginya kwa Anambra chacha Walona Professor Walona Professor Soludo na bambo kajava kubo Soludo na bambo kaimuta kubo Walona Professor Asimu Walona Professor
Chick Alex, I cannot beat. Utua. ABS.
Now to the Mr. Solution.
Walona Professor Walona Professor Soludo na bambo kajava
Tolia Mr. Solution. Yes, sir. Hello. Let in here, Mr. Solution. Yes. Nenu challenge one for. Obro so no be ali church. All the who fit. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 20, Mr. Solution. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, let's pledge our allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria with the national anthem. Anambra State Anthem.
With all our hearts, we pray and ask, God bless Anambra, God bless the shining light that we get. We're the only ones to make her brighter, the only ones to make her better, the only ones to make Anambra shine. With our sweat and blood, every breath of our lives, with trust in God, we will lift our home and high. We believe in togetherness, we'll build a land of progress. With the spirit of Anambra, with the spirit of Anambra, with the spirit of Anambra, states we love.
Thank you. Biko Kai Nodonani. Let's be seated, please. I get General Noje. I want to plead. Governor has a lot to do. Biko if Basaloji aga oseso biko no. Onwere onye ọka nọ n'etiti anyị. Onye ọka ịma na ogi tocha. Maka aga aligom. Mana ịma na ogi bụ senior. Onye ọka ịbịa n'iru oche. Ka eweta ego ọjị ka ị gaa ozugbo ozugbo. Ma ọ bụ na echecha ọjị a. Kedu onye ọka ma na ọnya bụ duru ike? Kedu onye ọka bụ duru ike anyị nọ? Ihe anọ n'iru oche, nọla na n'iru oche ka eweta ego ọjị. Ko enye gị ya ọjị ọ bụ na unu chechelu Mr. Gọvanọ ọjị o were ọjị enye ndị ekwesịrị inye den anyị ebujeziela onye ọka nọ ịka maka na ọka ka anyị nọ ịka aba
the government's rule of law and value system, transforming public service, justice system, and mainstreaming
the Anambra's value system. Owejana nkise bụ environment. Unu manoku na Anambra State #1 existential threat is environment. Obu na enweteria onwere ife anyị na-eme. Towards a clean, green, planned, and sustainable markets, communities, and cities. From his wealth of experience in the Banyino, as an international consultant on economics, he has consulted for 21 countries and multinational organizations. Repairing their economies and making it better. He was chief economic advisor to the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the de facto minister of national planning. He was also the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, where he won an award as the best governor of the central bank in the whole world 3 times consecutively. This award was not given to him by the Nigeria. It was by the Financial Times of United Kingdom. A man who is sensitive and empathetic to the plight of his people, whose government is about giving life to the lifeless. That poor woman in Akili Ogidi in Obaru, Onono in Anambra West, No Fija in Orumba, or both family in Okanot, whose wares Afionele displayed on the table is not up to 30,000 naira, who Mr. Governor says don't pay a dime as tax. That Okada rider, barrow and truck pusher, hawker, on a tray, who he says to the tax collectors, leave him or her alone. He cares for his people. He's intentionally laying the foundation for the African Dubai, Taiwan of our dreams by giving the children of the poor opportunity to succeed through completely free education from kindergarten to senior secondary school, to end the dynasty of poverty in their families, free antenatal and free delivery for pregnant women in government hospitals. He says, and I quote, a society or a system is as good as its weakest link, end of quote. Meaning that if the poor is not taken care of, a society has not succeeded. Empowering the youth through the One Youth Through 2 Skills initiative, where in the first phase, he has spent 2 billion naira to empower 5,000 youths. And the second phase is ongoing. Empowering over 20,000 youths on different tech skills through Solution Innovation District. He has commenced the construction of 641.121 kilometers of roads, 150 kilometers completed, and more to follow. Especially for communities who have never seen a square kilometer of road before. Not just the roads, but also bridges and flood control. Within 9 months in office, he employed 5,000 teachers to end the era of schools without teachers. And later, he employed another 3,115 more to bring it to a total of 8,115 teachers. This is unprecedented. It has never happened in Nigeria. Never. 1,000 doctors, nurses, and other health professionals employed to end the era of hospitals without doctors, nurses, and health professionals. Before he came on board, 9 local governments were under siege in the Baine, especially in the south. The hoodlums took over these places. But Mr. Governor started tackling insecurity head-on. Security has returned in the state because he is taking it step by step. Before he came on board, okay, he always says, and I quote, our environment is our number one existential threat. He has focused so much on environment, silting, our drainages, prompt evacuation of wastes, Ebembi, and steady. He has made the state conducive for investments to thrive. Under his watch, Anambra State is ranked the best in fiscal transparency. Since the Ojibidolwa, okay, Bororo, 1 naira, 1 kobo, when I live in. Yes. Thank you. The Orthodox churches gave him award as the father of a communism and solution governor. Before appointment, he doesn't care where you come from. The best. Yes, he is the champion newspaper governor of the year on infrastructure and rural development. PFN, Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria, gave him honor of icon of societal transformation just recently. Anambra State has the lowest percentage of out-of-school children in Nigeria. And so many other firsts. A testimony to the great investment in education is seen in the numerous awards the students from Anambra State are winning in Nigeria and internationally. Yes. He's building a state where there will be no longer be a departure lounge, but a place where to come, live, invest, work, and enjoy. That is the place he's building for us. Ladies and gentlemen, there is so much to be said about this great man whom the Anambra are lucky to have as their leader. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the game changer, the trailblazer, the rave of the moment. That power of one man is in this man. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about no less a man than the man who has given us minimum wage without blinking. Put your hands together for Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo, CFR, Mr. Solution. Because born here, Mr. Solution. Thank you. Thank you. Dalo. In our midst is also the number 2 citizen of Anambra State. The deputy governor of Anambra State is here. Dr. Onyeka Chukwu Ibezim. Please put your hands together. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Chelono. The secretary to the state government of Anambra State is also here. Professor Solo. Osita Demma Chukwu Lobelo. Everyone, you're welcome. The state chairman of our great party is also here. High Chief Barrister Sir Ifatu Obiokoye. No. The chairman of this occasion is also here. Lady. Okay, the chief of staff. Just saw him. Mr. NSS Ajui. Please, you're welcome. Thank you. The chairman of the occasion is no less a man than the former clerk of the House of Assembly of Anambra State, Chief Udo. We welcome you, sir. Thank you so much for being here. We also have in our midst, ladies and gentlemen, Professor Anselm Chidi Odinkalo. Yes, the chairman of the board of Council of Chukwuemeka Migo Jukwu University. You're welcome. I will not leave out the head of service. The head of service is the one who gathered all of us here today. So, ladies and gentlemen, Barrister Theodora Okwi Igwebe, MNI, Daloma. I also saw the chairman of the Anambra State Civil Service Commission, Tony Ezenwaka. We welcome you. And Barrister Ezaka is also here, chairman, Anambra State Local Government Service Commission. And then Genevieve Osakwe Esquire is the chairman of our ANSEC, Anambra State. I won't leave out, ladies and gentlemen, the representative of the civil defense here. I can cite him. Please, we welcome you, sir. And also, ladies and gentlemen, We have in our midst the national president of ASATU is here. Honorable Barrister Titus Abudu, welcome you. The chairman of Labor Union in Anambra State, Humphrey, we welcome you. Yes, Humphrey Nwafo, thank you for being here. And ladies and gentlemen, the permanent secretaries are here. We welcome you. The Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, we welcome you. Professor Ifemeje. The directors and head of departments, the civil servants that are gathered here, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this year's Public Service Day celebration. It calls for celebration. It calls for us to applaud that man who has come for us to see the light in Anambra State. At this juncture, it will be my singular honor and privilege to invite the chairman of the occasion to speak to us on this occasion, talking about Chief Pius Udo, former clerk of the House of the Anambra State House of Assembly, to come and give us chairman's opening remarks.
Soludo na bambo ka ịmụta akwụkwọ kwalụnụ prọfesọ aka asị m kwalụnụ prọfesọ aka ụmụ Anambra ka anyị kene Soludo onye nụ free education
The governor of Anambra State, Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo, CFR, the deputy governor of Anambra State, the secretary to the state government, the head of service, party chieftains, political appointees here, chairmen of boards, commissions, distinguished permanent secretaries, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Governor, let me begin by informing you that just before you arrived, we have taken a key matter in the program, which is the public service lecture. We got pharmacist Dr. Obi Uchebo, the permanent secretary, Ministry of Health, to talk to the entire public servants on ensuring safety and health at work in a changing climate. We all agree that this topic is very apt, given the situation where we are today. The climate is changing, and then there is need for safety. There is need to ensure that workers in public places are safe and that their health is assured. Mr. Governor, pharmacist Dr. Obi Uchebu did justice to this particular topic. And I'm sure that the public servants in the state are today better equipped on how to take care of themselves in order to avoid all avoidable accidents that may take place in a workplace. Mr. Governor, let me also inform all of us that Public Service Day is an internationally celebrated event. As a matter of fact, the General Assembly of the United Nations, in one of its resolutions taken in 2002, designated 23rd of every June every year as Public Service Day. In Nigeria, the event is also celebrated annually, but the dates differ from one state to another. For clarity, public servants include civil servants, teachers, workers in agencies and extra-ministerial departments of government. This therefore means that while all civil servants are public servants, all public servants are not civil servants. So here before you, Mr. Governor, is a gathering of workers in the state, drawn from ministries, extra-ministerial departments, agencies of government, and so on. And these workers, as we all know, represent the battle tanks with which the governor goes to work. They are involved in policy formulation, they are involved in advising the government of the day, and they are also involved in policy execution. They are therefore very important, very crucial in executing the policies of government. What is Public Service Day? Public Service Day is a day that is set aside to celebrate the value and virtue of public service to the people. Mr. Governor, you have always told us you applied for this job. And the job you applied for is to deliver values, services to the people of Anambra State. But Mr. Governor, you cannot do it alone. So there is an assemblage of people known as public servants, of which you are the chief servant, who are responsible for carrying out the policies initiated by your government, the programs you come up with to make sure that the actual intentions of these policies are realized. The Public Service Day is therefore set aside to recognize the work of public servants who are very important in executing these policies. It is to promote excellence, honesty, and diligence in public service. And in order to do this, we know that these workers perform various roles, as I had earlier stated. Today also is a day that we give award to public servants. And the award is in recognition of those outstanding public servants who have distinguished themselves in various ways. So today, we expect that Mr. Governor will give awards to those outstanding civil servants. Some of them may even have the benefit of handshake from the governor. And we are all happy that you are here with us today as the chief servant of the state. The state is lucky that we have in you a former public servant who has served and retired, and that is why you have continued to prioritize payment of salary, payment of pension, and payment of gratuity. We cannot thank you enough, and the opportunity will still come to give vote of thanks for all you do in the state. Thank you and welcome, Mr. Governor.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Now, on the buying again, let's invite Mama Ndiolo Ibo, Nani, the head of service of Anambra State, for our welcome address. So, ladies and gentlemen, Lady Theodora Okwi Igwebe, MNI, Biko na koloniaka, na koloniaka. Ay kolono na koloniaka.
Mr. Governor, Professor Charles Chukuma Soludo, CFR, Mr. Deputy Governor, the chairman of the occasion, may I crave your indulgence to stand on the already established protocol. I am honored to welcome you all to the 2024 Public Service Day celebration. The Public Service Day celebration is usually a period to take stock and acknowledge the pivotal role of the service as the main engine of governance and development in the state. In this process of stock taking, we recognize and reward hard work and excellence of our colleagues who have distinguished themselves above the normal call of duty. It is worthy of note that this Public Service Day celebration is usually an annual event fixed to hold on the 23rd day of June every year in the Federal Civil Service. However, every state is at liberty to choose a date that is most suitable within the year for the event in the state. During the celebration, a lecture is presented which derives from the provided theme of the year. This year's theme, ensuring safety and health at work in a changing climate, is particularly relevant as we strive to create a conducive work environment that supports the well-being of workers. As we celebrate this year's Public Service Day, we recognize the importance of prioritizing safety and health in workplaces. A healthy and safe work environment is essential for optimal productivity, job satisfaction, and overall well-being. The state of the service. Before I go into this, I want to correct an impression that Mr. Governor has completed about 300 kilometers of roads. As at this morning, I updated my records, and it's my pleasure to let this August gathering know that as at this moment, Mr. Governor has awarded 700 kilometers of roads in Anambra State, and 405 kilometers have been completed. That is the correct record. I'm delighted to report that the Anambra State Civil Service has made significant strides in 2024. We appreciate the visionary leadership of our governor, who has made these successes possible. The appointment of 18 permanent secretaries and 2 auditors general has led to efficient and effective service delivery. We provided them with training, orientation, and computers to equip them for their new roles. I have trained them on the new performance management system, which will replace the old annual performance evaluation report, APA, from January 2025. This new system evaluates key performance indicators, KPIs, standard operating procedures, SOPs, as well as deliverables. The Civil Service Commission has also been constituted to ensure that our public service is merit-driven. The chairman and members of the commission have since resumed duties, and they have started handling their responsibilities as provided by the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended. Mr. Governor, having done this for the civil service, we are very grateful, because without the Civil Service Commission, matters concerning promotions and the discipline of civil servants becomes a very difficult task to perform. Notable strides have been made in 2024 towards the safety of workers in Anambra State. The reconstruction of the State Secretariat Road, the renovation of the Civil Service Commission building, the elevation of the walls of the Secretariat, installation of solar street lights, and the ongoing installation of CCTV cameras in the surroundings of the State Secretariat complex have improved security and healthy work environment. The Office of the Head of Service has established a very cordial relationship with the organized labor, and that translates to the synergy that exists between the organized labor and the state government. The result of this cordial relationship and synergy is the existence of industrial harmony in the state. Improvements have been made in the area of welfare of workers, as Mr. Governor has continued to keep to his promise of prompt payment of salaries on the 25th of every month. Workers in the state were among the first to be paid minimum wage in line with the Minimum Wage Act of 2024. While the minimum wage in Nigeria is 70,000 naira, Mr. Governor, Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo CFR, approved 82,000 naira gross emoluments prior to statutory deductions. The implication is that after deductions, are made, the least paid workers earn 71,000 naira net pay every month. We are grateful to Mr. Governor for setting up the Minimum Wage Implementation Committee and for his support during the period of negotiations between the Office of the Secretary to the State Government, the Office of the Head of Service, and the representatives of the organized labor. The negotiations also resulted to the payment of 10,000 naira to all the pensioners in the state pending the review of pensions. Early this year, the over 17 years industrial dispute between the state government and the defunct Anambra State Water Corporation and the Anambra State Environmental Protection Agency came to an end following Mr. Governor's approval for the payment of their accumulated salaries and retirement benefits. The Office of the Head of Service brought executive memos to intimate council on the concerns of workers regarding the contributory pension scheme and Ndiolo Microfinance Bank. Mr. Governor graciously set up mechanisms to ascertain the state of the contributory pension scheme and that of Ndiolo Microfinance Bank. The reports of the committees have been submitted to Mr. Governor for his consideration and approval. In a bid to curb corruption, we have set up anti-corruption committees in all the MDAs and local government areas in the state. We thank the European Union Rule of Law and Anti-Corruption, EU ROLAC, ably led by Mrs. Josephine Ona, for their collaboration and support. We are grateful for the sensitization and training programs organized by EU ROLAC in the state. Mr. Governor, the numerical strength of the service increased with your approval for the recruitment of additional 3,115 teachers in 2024. This has boosted the delivery of quality services in our schools where the governor provides free education. On the other hand, some medical personnel are about being recruited to improve the quality of medical services in our public health facilities. Mr. Governor recently embarked on the construction of 5 new general hospitals. 2 out of the 5 hospitals have been completed in Fege and Okpoko, and we hope that more medical personnel will join the service very soon. Anambra State Public Service transitioned further into the new world of work following the provision of free Wi-Fi at the State Secretariat complex, the provision of laptop computers to the newly appointed permanent secretaries, principals of secondary schools, and head teachers in the primary schools has further added to making the service a technologically driven one. Issues and challenges, and of course, our appeals to Mr. Governor. While we celebrate our achievements in the Anambra State Civil Service, we are also mindful of the issues and challenges that lie ahead. It is important that these issues and challenges are addressed in order to ensure the continued growth and development of the public service in the state. We therefore appeal to Mr. Governor to consider these challenges and address them in the year 2025. Infrastructure. 1, reticulation of water. Mr. Governor, we appeal to you to consider our request for the reticulation of water at the State Secretariat. This is essential for health, safety, and well-being of the workers. Electricity supply. Following the revamping of the security architecture of the State Secretariat complex, we request that the vandalized transformer be re-energized and that the stolen armored cables be replaced. Additionally, we appeal for the purchase of a new 1,500 kVA generator to replace the old one, which is over 20 years old, and no longer reliable. Road maintenance. We also appeal to Mr. Governor to approve the patching of potholes inside the Secretariat premises. This will enable our staff and visitors move around the complex safely without any risk of accidents. Building and maintenance. Building reinforcement. It is our wish that the buildings of the Secretariat complex be reinforced as they have developed cracked walls. This is important to secure the safety and well-being of our staff and for preventing any potential accidents or disasters. Plumbing and electrical systems. We also appeal to Mr. Governor to approve the reworking of the plumbing and electrical systems of the 3 buildings of the State Secretariat complex. Staff development and welfare. Promotion interviews and examinations. Mr. Governor is requested to approve the conduct of the 2023 and 2024 promotion interviews and examinations in the first quarter of 2025. This has been provided for in the personnel cost of the 2025 budget. Capacity building. We will appreciate Mr. Governor's approval for training programs for the state civil servants in 2025. Training enhances the skills and knowledge of our staff, enabling them to deliver high-quality services to the people of Anambra State. The Public Service Bus Mass Transit Scheme. We also request that Mr. Governor approves the revamping of the public service buses and the purchase of new ones to enable our staff have access to cheap, safe, and reliable transportation. Having said this, Mr. Governor, we have a promise. Our promise, Mr. Governor, is a consistent demonstration of care and dedication to the safety and health of Anambra State workers, which we have seen through your words and actions, and this has left an indelible impression. We wholeheartedly pledge our complete dedication and unwavering support to you and your administration. We equally promise to continue to work diligently to ensure the effective and meticulous implementation of your programs and policies, which are aimed at transforming our beloved state into a secure, prosperous, and livable place for all its residents. Awards. In recognition of some workers' dedication and commitment to duty, selected deserving public servants will be honored today. This is our way of expressing gratitude for their exceptional hard work and selfless service to the Anambra. In conclusion, I commend Mr. Governor for the massive infrastructural development that is ongoing in our state. Workers in Anambra State will continue to support you in all you are doing to enhance the safety, health, and well-being of Ndi Anambra. I also commend other distinguished guests for finding time to attend this momentous event. I thank all our public and civil servants for their hard work, and I charge them not to relent in their efforts to drive and implement government policies in the state to enviable heights. We will not forget to use this opportunity to wish Mr. Governor and our invited guests Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We want to remind Mr. Governor that the workers of Anambra State are his children. As our Big Daddy, we are expectant of your usual Christmas largesse and payment of the 2024 leave allowances. We thank you, Mr. Governor, because we know that as our Big Daddy, and as you've always done, this year will not be a difference. Thank you so much. Thank you, and may God bless Anambra State.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Oye, no free education on all smart schools. Oh, no more than 8,000 teachers in all.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Biko, onye lie ife ebe a, unu for environment has to be clean. DJ, please. This environment is very clean. Ilie ife ebe a, don't litter the floor. We beg of you. Mr. Governor, ndị nke gị na ebe a. May I create the indulgence of Mr. Governor to welcome the provost of the Nwafọ College of Education, Dr. Fosina Anyadiegu, and then the rector, the acting rector of Anambra State Polytechnic, Mbako, Dr. Njideka Chiekezie. Then Mrs. Margaret Obaze is the rep of the Chief Registrar of Anambra State. Ladies and gentlemen, at this juncture, it will be my singular honor for all of us to join hands, put our hands together, as I welcome the great one himself, the man who God has used to liberate Anambra State. Ladies and gentlemen, to speak to us at this auspicious occasion, may I invite Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo, CFR, Mr. Solution. Tony, Mr. Solution.
The lion is here.
Yeah, because not in Anambra kweno. Ndị ọlụ kweno. Anambra kwezweno. Ndị ọlụ oyibo ibe m ekene m unu. Ndị nkụzi ọnọkwa ebe a? Unu nọ ebe a, wonderful. Cambido, I think the protocol has been well established. Manakam said the deputy governor and all the special guests invited. I won't go on to start repeating the protocol that has been established. Onye ọbụla azelo ebe o chili. Unu ncha igwe no, mana ọbọkwa onye na ọzọ bụ igwe na bịa. My fellow public servants, today is a special day. As has been said by the head of service, this is, it's an annual event celebrated throughout the world, and in Nigeria here, every state, celebrates it at convenience. This was going to be, I think it was scheduled for Friday last week, and I was going to be represented by the deputy governor. But then, for one thing or the other, I think there was some, is that conspiracy by head of service and co. They decided to move it again to this week, so as to make sure that I am in town. And thank you very much for making it so, because I always love to see all of you. I love to see your faces, and I like to, because this is a day that we celebrate all our public servants. It's a day to celebrate you. Yes, there is the Workers' Day. We celebrate all workers, but for our public servants, this is a special day for you. And I want to celebrate you all for the hard work, for the commitment, dedication, and productivity throughout this year. Today is 20th of December. And I want to appreciate all of you. Secondly, I also want to appreciate and celebrate the various workers' unions. The various workers' unions, the unions under the umbrella of NLC, and the workers under the umbrella of TUC, plus all other public servants who probably don't belong to any. I want to appreciate all of you for your patriotism, commitment, and dedication to seeing Anambra remain a very peaceful state where workers and all public servants are able to give out their very best. I appreciate all of you. The theme for this year's public service, I understand, is ensuring safety and health at work in a changing climate. And this has been delivered by Dr. Mrs. Obiageli Uchebo. Yeah? Wonderful. And coincidentally, coming from the Ministry of Health, PAMSEC, Ministry of Health. Did you guys learn a lot from the lecture? Because I get me when onye biase eba, abiase out the public lecture. Ama nakana enye the lecture for na maybe nwanye akwose somebody say eba na. I kwesele ga boot by boot ka I draw each person onye I apply draw kedi for omuta na the lecture today. Eh? Because the theme is safety and health at work in a changing climate. That's the major thing we've come to discuss here today. Each year, the public service lecture, each public service day, there is a particular lecture, a theme, and you have a lecturer. And I want to pray that you are taking home all that was said. I've just received a copy of the lecture, and I think it's very rich, and one I recommend to everyone to read and internalize and practice at a place of work. Today is not a day for long speeches, and I don't intend to make any. But I will not forget, while talking about the PAMSEC and our guest lecturer for today from the Ministry of Health, the PAMSEC Ministry of Health. Is the commissioner here? No. I think, where is the PAMSEC? Our guest lecturer. Thank you very much. Mba, unnememma, the primary health or no queer? Unnememma. I think if you realize Anambra State, we recently won the regional, they've been deemed to have the best in the Southeast, and we won $500,000 to being the best in the Southeast, and we also deemed to be the best in Nigeria, and we also won $700,000 for being the best in Nigeria. And in primary health care. Welcome, Oh yes. I can ekwe beans on amata bere amata. Amata bere the beans. My nesi. Akara nesi. Mana I can ekwe beans on n'afia. Bo. I must commend all of you, Ndi Anambra, and all our stakeholders in the health ecosystem, and very importantly, the Ministry of Health, the Primary Health Care Agency, and all of you indeed for putting in the hard work. To the Anambra, the communities and so on, for putting in the hard work that has put Anambra on the map as the best in Nigeria. It's a call for us to do more. Yes, there have been several awards of being the best in terms of infrastructure and rural development, or awards in the area of ICT and innovation, or being the most supportive government in terms of micro, small, and medium enterprises. You know that our 1U 2 skills has now been adopted by the federal government to go into the federal government curricula. And so on and so forth. We can go on a list. But all I said, for us, this is not about awards. For us, it's about focusing on the work and the value that we deliver to the people. That is what drives us. Whether we have the 8,115 new teachers recruited competitively, and we have teachers drawn from about 18 states of Nigeria now in our teaching cadre, recruited competitively, the best, because nothing but the best is good enough for the Anambra child. And leading to an upsurge in enrollment and leaving Anambra with the lowest out-of-school children in the entire country, 36 states plus FCT. That is what we must be pushing. Makana our mantra, bonye menegene, onye agara nwanne. Leave no one behind. Be your brothers and sisters' keeper. We must build this society where we are trying to, the vision, the grand vision of a livable and prosperous homeland. While we focus on that big agenda, we must ensure that the weakest link in the chain is as strong as the strongest part of the chain. That's why we must intentionally design our programs and policies to make sure that the vulnerables, the weak, and the poor are also carried along as we move on, to build a society where everyone has a stake. Everyone has a stake in the public good that we provide. That is the society we are intentionally building. So be it in the area of education, be it in the area of health, and health, we just got the numbers that are free antenatal, free delivery service. Well, let me even talk about the education part for a second. On the free education, from primary through secondary in all public schools, I have met many of our public servants who extend their gratitude that their children attend these schools, and they are grateful that the burden of school fees on them has been removed, and so on and so forth. That is part of it. It benefits the public servants. It benefits that woman selling crayfish or selling banana by the roadside. On health, the free antenatal, free delivery that has now, as at last week, the statistics we had was that about 82,888 had benefited from our free antenatal, free delivery. And in our delivery service, about 400 women have given birth through cesarean operations, and those with zero mortality and free of charge. That is the kind of program that we continue to push, to benefit the vast majority of our people. Because whatever kobo that we have, whatever penny that we have, we must spend it in such a way that every person in Anambra, the 8.5 million residents of Anambra, will receive some value or the other. So when we get onto our infrastructural development and building roads, crisscrossing the entire 21 local governments and touching most communities, I'm prioritizing those that have never seen 1 inch of tarred road before. It's all designed, again, to leave no one behind and make sure that the prosperity that we create is shared prosperity, that everybody has a stake in this society, including, but not limited to, the public servants. We celebrate you because you are a special arm of the society. Whatever we deliver, whether we are delivering, we've distributed over 2 million palm and coconuts and special, seedlings or special, what I call the rare and disappearing breeds in the state. You have been part of that revolution. In a few years' time, those who have nurtured theirs to maturity will begin to reap bountiful harvest. In all the things that we do, whether it is a water revolution that is making a big comeback, massive parts of the state. Is it in the area of, we've talked about infrastructure, bridges, and flyovers, and so on and so forth, or agriculture, where we are pushing this farm to feed revolution, as it were. All of you have been a part of this journey, and I want to commend and congratulate all of you. This is a day to celebrate. Head of service. Afọ m ife niile, afọ m ife wa na-edowe ebe a, mana afọ m nkwụ enu from ọgbụ. Unu ebutere nkwụ enu? Chief of staff ebutere nkwụ enu from ọgbụ. Unu na-aṅụ nkwụ enu ebe a? Ọ mmiri? Maka today we ought to be dancing here, isn't it? Because today, thank you, in the culture. Thank you very much. Now, let me say 1 or 2 things. I won't take you far, trying to talk about what we are trying to do or what we have done, be it in our area of our Nation 2.0, or the urban regeneration programs, or the OCA 2.0, and so on and so forth, or the new industrial city that we are intentionally building. I won't bore you with all of this. But let me, while we are on this, let me just touch on 2 things. By end of January, we'll be launching a special security operation, security initiative. We're already rolling this out very forcefully. And that is the Operation Udogachi. I spoke about this 3 days ago, I think on Wednesday or thereabout, that we spoke about this. We mean business about this, because all these hoodlums in Anambra, who, by the way, are our brothers, our relations, our sons, our daughters, they are our neighbors, they are our relations. But these hoodlums must either leave Anambra or be crushed. They must either leave Anambra or be crushed. My heart bleeds each time that any of these youths has to lose his life. This particular message, I want you to take it home. Everybody, take it home. Ndị anọ n'ime ọfịa, these kidnappers, these guys na-ele drugs, ndị nọ na cult, ọ ndị na-eje ife agboro, o wepụta egbe gosi mmadụ ọ nalị akpịa. Ọ ụmụnne anyị ka fa bụ, ụmụ anyị ka fa bụ, ndị agbata obi anyị ka fa bụ, fa bụrụ ndị mmụọ. I man the fabo, Ono man the fabo. They live amongst us. And that's why I do say, oh, police bia, police army bia. Army kekwa onye police na bia bo onye Benue. Mo onye si Ekiti we bia. Nyawa ga-abịa na your village, mara onye wu criminal ebe a. And that's why we keep stressing, if you know something or see something, do what? Say something. Because this is our collective job. I mean, we have made public the phone numbers that you can call. The phone numbers that you can call. If you don't want to go to the police to report, call to us. Those numbers are around us. We will go and pick them out. And we have been taking them out, tens of them almost every day. Our hearts believes Makande Bai ani Igbo na-achọkwa dị ka etu ọ dị mgbe agha be civil war be mgbe a nụsịrị agha Biafra. Enwere many widows maka ndị dife jere agha fa anọtara. Then enwere a lot of young ladies eligible for marriage, but there were young men to marry them because the young men had died. That is the situation. If thousands of them or hundreds of them in the bush on a Mayfa, let nobody deceive you. Anybody saying agitation and so on, it's a lie. It is what? A lie. If I am criminals, in onime ofia mmadụ ọ na-ebi n'ime ofia. Ndị na-eme agitation for independent ọ n'ime ofia ka fa na-ebi. Why iji bili n'ime ofia bulu alụnsị dọba ebe a? Onwe ndị dibịa, nwe ndị na-agwọ ụdị ọgwụ a, that helping these people not in your communities, let us know. We'll go and take the man out or take her out. Mandeze wanyi, mandeze dibia, man so on and so forth. To Jule Benine. Now walk confusing these kids. We're also going to declare a war on them. Obone ina meifa igwa ife na alo. Obone ina agwon ki ife iga agwaleta yo div ki ina agwo ifa. I am ali fobo. Otherwise we'll come and take you out and burn that place and clear it out of Anambra. Anambra cannot condone those kind of people in the state. We are going to begin to register them. We are going to document to you malaria and so on. Onwe nke nọ na bono, let us know. We come and visit. Anyị abịa fụ ya. Maka ọfa na confuse ụmụaka. Fa confuse ya for welofo onye ọkwanye n'obi na-emezi na ya bụ ọdeshi ọṅụọ ojezie ndị drug is another one. Everywhere, every day we are arresting tens of them. Mumu woke mumu wine. Fanele drug. And you know, more than 70% of these criminals are from the Anambra. When you're on the Nuta Anambra, that's the place where you make money. Manai na Agwafa, before us in Anambra, but home for all. Manai say no, home for all law-abiding people. Home for all law-abiding people. If you are not law-abiding, me bonya Anambra, me bronya Anambra, sina Anambra po. Maka aijidei. The drugs, the cultists, the kidnappers and criminals, we know them, and yet, yes, that's the major place we are going to focus on very seriously. And we ask in the Anambra, and the PG must be able to document and the government must have a record of them. Any PG that fails to now record and document all these things, we're going to take out the PG himself and arrest him as an accomplice. Because he must be culpable. He must know what is going on in his community. Otherwise, you resign as being PG. You have no business being PG if the kind of thing will be happening under your roof there, your community, and you don't know. Some of them are home to cricket, all these kidnapped victims. But anyway, can you my article wave head of service and we make it chef way feed or you bunny in the let me let me quickly, because I have to run actually, and today is also, that's the, among other events I have 2-3 other events before we go for Christmas Carol, which is supposed to start by 3 at Kweme Square. Now, head of service, thank you very much. I have, as you were speaking, I just went through your, perused through your speech. I think much of it you were outlining the things we have done, what we have done that are of benefit to public servants and to workers in the state and to the state in general. We appreciate your documentation of all of this. Yes, I saw you. Yes, you accurately documented in your own speech the kilometers of road and so on. You know, I was saying it someday in EXCO that to speak these things we should cross-check with the process owners. So you have done so to now say that it is 405. Myself, I haven't checked in the last 2 weeks, so I know the number I had 2 weeks ago. You are the most current because you checked this morning. Okay, so thank you very much. Odesia Lifa Nina, the address here, they were very, yeah, she spent 1, 2, 3. She spent 3 pages talking about if I'm spend another 2 pages talking about issues, challenges, and appeals. And she has made 8 requests. 8 requests. Number 1, reticulation of water. You wanted to appeal for reticulation of water at the State Secretariat complex. But the water scheme here doesn't work. No? It was working before. Since when? Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Number 1 point here requests reticulation of water, that we get that fixed so that the overhead tank, the Commissioner for Water, Power and Water Resources is not here yet. Not yet back from his trip. Chief of Staff, so that he can begin work on it very expeditiously. Number 2 is electricity supply. Okay? Number 2 is electricity supply. And it's talking about the vandalized transformer to be re-energized and that the stolen armor cables be replaced. Now, the one stolen, we're not going to be, without knowing why and how, why could we let it be stolen? Who was guarding it? and so on and so forth. And you're talking about 1,500 kVA generator. 1,500 kVA generator, how much diesel does it take you to run? It better be, if you need, whether you actually need 1,500 kVA or whether you need the solar system. I know we are investing on solar, to get this place powered, but generator, and you'll be buying diesel at almost 2,000 a liter. I'm not quite sure how that works. So your request on electricity, I will say this needs to be studied in terms of what is the best cost-effective and efficient way to supply electricity on a continuing basis to the Secretariat. The third one is road maintenance. First of all, I commended the head of service. Everywhere in Anambra now is black and white. And the road to this Secretariat, I insisted that I am going to come to your service through that road. And the contractor handling it was mandated to make sure that it is motorable today. And going forward, we're going to completely fix that road that you drive to your Secretariat. And yes, AGDA, the MD AGDA, will come and take a look and say where Amanan ma chokwe be pothole wade afọ kwanya. Abeka pothole wade. Mana odoro eba nana. Gedi eba. Gedi. Oh, ebene ka ọ dị. Okay, thank you very much. Ọ dị ụnụ mkpa nnukwu. Very important. Okay. MD Agda will come and take a look at it and say, we can get this fixed you can move around the complex safely without risk of accident. I think because the theme for this year's thing is about safety and health at the workplace. All the requests I make is in Komel or Tinye is in safety and health. Komel or Tinye is in safety and health. Now, so your head of service is a very clever woman. She just puts all of them in there. Okay, so we have already dealt with 3 or 4 or 5. 5 building and maintenance, 1 building reinforcement. Oh, really? Then we'll go cracks and so on. Commissioner for Housing is not here. I'm sure they're all they're all at sites. We were at sites till last night, and I told them I might also be continuing today. So they are probably Chief of Staff. You're right in noting that. They'll come and send their together with Ministry of Works. They will need to send their teams to come and look at the cracks, and we'll see what reinforcements will be required. That's number 4 gone. Number 5, plumbing and electrical systems. You approved to approve the reworking of plumbing and electrical systems of the 3 buildings of the Secretariat complex. Well, that's the same with power and water resources. We'll also come and take a look at this. I hope we're gonna make 2025 budget that you had some of these things reflected there. Because over a message, it could be then which, because I'm going to ask you which vote of charge are we going to get money to do it. So plumbing and electrical systems. The next, staff development and welfare, that Mr. Governor is requested to approve the conduct of 2023-2024 promotion interviews and the examinations in the first quarter of 2025. I'm sure they don't want this one. Do you want this? How can you want this? Eh? You want promotion interviews and eh? Kaine Jagodu. The next one, number 7, also capacity building. Approval for training programs for the state civil servants in 2025. Do you want that one? You want training? Are you sure? This one is such a very important one because we must have public servants that are continuously learning. We will continue to upscale the technology, and that's why we had to prioritize having free Wi-Fi at the Secretariat here so people can have access to internet and to the rest of the world. But we must also develop training programs and delivery mechanisms that will ensure that our public servants continuously upskill and upscale their knowledge in all ramifications so that you continue to be productive servants. So, according to our 2025 order, because yesterday I got the good news that the 2025 appropriation law of Anambra State was passed into law yesterday and by the House of Assembly. So, and the only thing you spend on, you can't spend if it is not in the law. Governor doesn't manufacture budget. Governor can't just spend anyhow. You can't just spend on anything that comes to your head. It has to be in the budget. If it's not in the budget and you spend it, it is illegal. It becomes illegal. You can't just put your hand there and spend government money. So that's why I keep asking whether it is, make sure that these things are reflected there. And the capacity building thing, yes, we're going to lay quiet and prioritize this very seriously. And your last one, the last request here, is public service bus mass transit scheme. And here you want the public service bus thing to be revamped and so on. Now, the ones that were existing, what happens to them? And when they break down, how do you put them in order? Because why are those buses not working? Okay? Why are those buses not working? The ones saying, well, why are they parked? Because, and then I asked, don't you guys pay anything And they said that you people pay, that there's something you pay at that 300 or something. And my point was, probably we need to rethink about the management. We have to rethink a new management structure, because if staff even pay something, it should at the minimum be able to put the vehicles continuously on the road, you know, and therefore we are going to, and if you or anybody you know who can manage the fleet, because when it is run by us as if a government, the attitude no asset government comes into it. Aga anyagide moto, obulu moto government, aga anyagide, you may change manu, you may change ifa, you may check oil, you may check ifa until all engine park. We can't go on this way. You understand what I mean? We can't go on that way. We got to rethink very seriously the management structure. A management structure where we concession this away. Yes, it is subsidized. In some ways, we will also agree if there is anything we are putting into it, then we agree on what that thing we put into it will be. But then somebody has to run it so that it operates 24/7. It cannot be the one all 3 months or park here 6 months. Chakwe again, a memo and so on and so forth. We're going to change the management structure around this mass transit system so that it can function and function all year round, so to speak. If we have to concession it away, we concession it away. And those who run it will have interest in keeping the buses alive. This is why they say government has no business running business, because government cannot run it. If you get it, on your now collect, here collect, or say no about his own I think the only one left among this as a promotion interviews. That's the only one that I'm expecting. Listen, pay attention. Let me tell you this. Listen. On that one, I have come here today. Not all states have already started paying minimum wage. I have come for you to do Christmas for me. This year, you are going to do for me. Even be a tata unu ga-agba m Christmas. And unu agbara ọlụ m mana tata. Mana gịnị ka a na-akọ ife a? Otego chiti na abatago na ya. Ọkwa nke this year unu ya agbala m Christmas. Unu agbara ọbịa head of spadway wetenu m handkerchief m na-anọdụ n'ebe a until unu agbala m Christmas tata. Ebe ọ na-akọ Christmas. Kedu ihe unu ewetara mma na tata? Afuro eseno efi puta efi one.
Wow. I'm with a cocoa. Or get a cobu number. Cello. Ha.
Walo no professor ka elente. Walo no professor ka elente. Soludo na bambo ka ejeva akwụkwọ elente. Soludo na bambo ka emuta akwụkwọ elente. Walunu Professor Aka, Asimu Walunu Professor Aka, Anambra Kanye Kene Soludo. Oh, you know free education on all smart schools. Oh, we know more than 8,000 teachers in all. Oh, they do go on a minimum wage. Umakwụkwọ na mbara anyị na-agbago digital. Anyị nọzi world map, ndị nkụzi laptop, ụmụakwụkwọ pamptop. Ọtụtụ mmadụ achịkwa ọsọ, ife dịka gị ya bụkwana na mbara chacha. Walụnụ Prọfesọ Aka, Elente. Walụnụ Prọfesọ Aka, Elente. Soludo na-agba mbọ ka anyị jebe akwụkwọ. Elente. Soludo na-agba mbọ ka anyị mụta akwụkwọ. Elente. Walụnụ Prọfesọ Aka, Elente. Asị m walụnụ Prọfesọ Aka, Elente.
Cleaner.
Chika Alex, I cannot beat.
You give me this.
ABS.
Chalo no.
Egwu dalụnụ.
Chalo. With a microphone. With a microphone. Nyenne, nyonya, koku.
Praise the
Get on
Lord.
there.
Biko achọ nka nke ndị Mr. Gọvanọ Soludo Gọvanọ afọ mbụ Margaret Nwokedi abụ m widow Paul widow ama arụ kiri na head of service anọ m admin mana ihe kata nye m obi aṅụrị ndị esi ka nke gị biko sa biko mana ejikwa otu ọbụla ọra biko dọkwa dị Paul widow ka mbụ biko mana ihe kacha m ụtọ nsị ka nke gị bụ na ụzọ nsị esi mkpọ eje eke mkpọ from afọ mkpọ to eke mkpọ bụ ndagwurugwu onyinye ọnwụ mana agazi ya this week amazi m mgbe m jere ahụrụ na keke na pepe mụkọga buru m fia ozugbo sị na orugo afro m pothole n'ụzọ from Unizik Junction to mgbakute amanuke to achala before bụ ịda n'ọnụ na ọbụrụ ọnwụ ime mistake ọkpa nke afara afa gbajitọf mana kịta bụ fia in short biko amụrụ ebe mebido ebido biko gbagharụ m na amakwa biko gbagharụ mana chiasị m ka Chineke nke pụrụ ime enyi na-egoziere m gị chiri na-aga ichicha esi ezi iba nke na-aza sineti from sineti to gọvanọ ịchụa gọvanọ itiere m ụmụ m n'ọrụ prezidenti a ka Chineke goziere m gị ya day will be blessed ya night will be blessed ya generation will be blessed ọ ya dịrị gị na mma ajọ mmadụ amafọ ajọ mama mfọ gị Chineke eji ọpụ gị na mbata gị site ugbu a wee ruo mgbe ebi ebi n'afọ Jizọs. Thanks, sir.
Ndị egwu chalụnụ n'olube chalụnụ.
Thank you very much. Kedu nke? Oh, ọ sị na onye nke a sị na ya na-eme ncha na anwụ a na-acha m ife a na m welere a na nchi ya saa arụ ma amazie mma. Onye nwunye m onwe nke enye nwunye m eyi ya biko ka ọma mma na natural hair ya nke a ga-enye nwunye m ọ dị mma. Thank you very much. Mba biko nata m ya nakọta nnọọ weta and weta m ife a ya eme ka anyị so market wee ife a anyị ga-eso na market ya maka anyị soro market ya ozugo ọkanwa bịa ya gezienu eme bịa no don't say no to her bịa mma ejiva ncha wee na ụnụ emetụkwana ya aka o na na-edetu umi ebe a na Anambra kweno. This is what just happened now is a very symbolic for a lot of people here. They don't understand it and will never understand it. But what happened here today is a very profound gesture. Okay, Moabu governor. But this woman, Okuka Onwu Wepota Bieba, is probably not less than 25,000-30,000. Now, just pay attention. The woman who has brought it, first is a widow, second is a cleaner. Is a widow and what? A cleaner, which is about the lowest, the least paid. I was struggling to hold back tears. I was struggling to hold back tears. Because this is symbolic. It's like the biblical widow's mite. That's what she demonstrated. I don't agree on the Bible, but somebody demonstrated it here today. Because I know 700 kilometers of road, 405 kilometers completed. All human beings that go through this and benefit from them every day. I get calls from all over Anambra. I travel the streets and I walk the streets. I go to the markets and I see the joy in the faces of these poor women who tell you, they gather to Oka North, example, or example. But I just commissioned the road that goes to above family. It was the women who were explaining to us how much it used to cost them to bring their goods from above family, from Ubene, from Beneb and so on to Oka. And now what it takes them to bring and do the same thing. This, if you calculate the benefits of the transformation that we are doing in all sectors, be it in terms of benefit you derive from the primary health, the benefit you derive from the schools, the benefit you derive from the infrastructure, and so on and so forth, you can never quantify them. And this woman herself, she was almost crying. Yeah. Ane me ofan chasu ya. Onne onye anyị ncha ndụ anyị ncha bụ ọlụ oyibo so na na-eme ya ife a. Ọ dị ka anwụ apụgo nnukwu so na anwụ apụgo. Oh. Chalụnụ ya biko. Aha. Cheenụ ka o jee pụta. Ọ na-eje ka o jee pụta. Ehe. Nke a ka department ọ na-alụ biko. Non the justice. Ọ na-anọ na court ka ọ na-ebe biko. Na-arụ adịsịrị ya? Okay. Yes. But you know, you see, this is the point. You know, something that just happened, and I pass a message because with this. Kita ononchana eba anorigoda ase na arụ adịsịrị ya onwesịrị ọ na-enweta isi ife. Next year now, ebido promotion exam, the supervisor will write and on nwere A. No. Let's face it. Kita akafa ji ọnụ fa na-asị na gịnị na o nwesịrị n'isi akpakọsịrọ. Supervisor ya odego memo wee na-ekwu na onye a kwesịrịzi nọ na civil service. Unu nwa ji ọnụ na-ekwu na isi adịsịrị ya mma. Now, mana o nwere onye ga-ekwu na isi adịsịrị ya mma ọnọdụ ebe a na-alụ ọlụta nke A ọlụnye to Z. A na-eme. Eme kita appraisal, everybody will get A. Onye jụrụ ya betukwa onye isi adịrị ọsị mba ọ ka ọ bụ na ọmụwa ga-ekwu biko rapụnụ m ka nna iva. It's a very important point. This incident that just happened now, this incident that just happened is obvious to everybody. Now, and I wonder, would they all if organa lolo to the state in the ministry? All Yibo. Man, it is well. But I want to conclude with this point that met here, because for me, it's one of those things that actually, very emotional. Etu nwaanyị a si wee nwụrụ ọkụkọ a wee si bịa. O nwere onye nke ọzọ sie bụ akpa oranges ka ọ ghọjuru ya na ya na-ebute. She didn't have a chance to speak. Ya na-ebute orange ya bụ ya wee bịa ka ya je kene gọvanọ na ife omego akụkụ befa nke ndị mbe akụkụ befa jikwa eme nke a. But that is the kind of conversation we must be having as a society. It is the kind of conversation we must be having as a society. When I said it, I was talking metaphorically. I was just trying to say listing. Whatever was on the checklist, what to do for our workers, even for our pensioners. You can check here all the states in Nigeria, plus federal government. Draw how many states, if any, after payment of minimum wage. In our no minimum wage, and when I say, oh, yes, I know 80,000, oh, yes, I know 75,000. Effectively, when you add all the deductions, we are making sure in Anambra that the take home is a minimum of 70, which then means the gross is in 80 something before a bit of deductions. No, it take is there all those deductions, including your union dues. Government is paying for them. Yes, so rightfully, I expect, and I must say it, onye ngwele si n'enu ọjị daa n'anya enu n'anya anị onwere onye tole ihe to onwe ya. But I'm glad, at least the head of service, when you documented all of this, I will say that what we had on our checklist for this year, for labor, that we could check all of them. And the labor, those who negotiate, who are coming to discuss the minimum wage on your behalf, I must commend them. Are they here? Yes, come. And Kerunde Onye TUC. These ones were very, very tough negotiators on your behalf. Ono fufa ona ne kenefa. I will tell you one thing, and I commend them for being they're very fable, real human beings. Because OGMS produced the first the table, and they came back with a special plea. They came back with a special plea on behalf of workers. And that special plea was Biko. Instead of a minimum wage, when minimum wage is, you are totally, the fact that this woman was just given and so on and so on, mechanic. To be able to do all of those and offer free education and offer free antenatal and free all of this in the state, but we still have to pay our workers. And so finally I said, no. Let's listen to what they are saying. We punched it, Obulaka, Ikwezioku, but we thought that in the interest of our workers, in the interest of Anambra, that we are going to make our own minimum wage to be the minimum take home, not the minimum wage, the minimum take home. That's what we are paying in Anambra. If you want to calculate for the minimum for anybody who is earning 71,000, the actual salary on you is about 82,000. The actual is about 82,000. It's when you deduct all of those. It is supposed to be you are giving your salary, and then all those deductions are made from your salary, because you got to pay tax, you got to pay union dues, you have to pay all the other deductions, ASHA, Mandiotia, and so on. All those deductions, they ought to be made from your salary. But now government is paying those for you, courtesy of the kind of union, because they are also very reasonable. And that's why I listen to them, so to speak. They're very reasonable. And so, Ono Fufa, I think every worker would like to have you as their. Man, if you negotiate, if I get a then at the second one mother. Father look what is one madam bar. If I'm bar for then, Chakasianya, when and bar. Man, it is well. Yeah, you'll have your seat. I just wanted to make that point. But the fact that this woman, who probably earns the minimum wage, is the one who gets well half of her minimum wage to go and buy fowl to go and give the governor in appreciation. It's a lesson that I will take the rest of my life, because Jesus in the Bible talked about the widow's mite, and that's what we've just experienced here today. And so the rest of us, there is a lesson. This say cleaner in the head of service office. A lesson to learn from this widow today. And I want to thank you immensely, Mrs. Nwokede, Madam Nwokede, because she says is a widow and so on. But let's wrap up. On the promotion thing, all the things that we take. Part of what the labor kept pressing this year was for us to constitute the Civil Service Commission. Okay? And we finally did. Now that we have the Civil Service Commission, yes, I will give my approval that the Civil Service Commission, yes, go ahead to start off your promotion exams and so on and so forth. And as we speak, once we finish today, once we get down from here now, you'll be calling today is 20th, and I'll be calling you are supposed to receive your salary. Coincidentally, your salary is supposed to be 25th. Also leave, quoi. Leave. Leave. Leave, bro. Leave. The show. Behind there. One of us all leave at 2 weeks to Juleba. I thought now having paid the minimum wage this year, one guy said, hey. There. And ụmụ nwanyị jụrụ ebe a niile nọ. Ụmụ nwanyị na-enwe n'obi ebele nọ. A na-ekwu unu ga-eme eche m na ga-asị nke leave ya debazie like Accountant General Neba. So which one of them do we do today? Kedon ko no cho keme this month. Kedun Kage this month and the next one next month. You want both of them? Yeah? Si boko fan chono. Ne waka de ba. If one ba de mo si boko fancha. If one ba if boko rota fan chono. Edajo boko fancha ya gbawa aka ma me ifa. Okay, what we do? Accountant General, whatever it is, whatever it takes, however it goes. I think the stuff that we make, and I'll say this in all, just to tell you that for me, money is what money can buy, isn't it? Money is what money can buy. No matter what, I said it during the negotiation of the wage thing, that no matter how much you pay, it's never going to be enough. But the only thing is that you have binding constraints. Costs are escalating. Cost of tarring 1 kilometer of road now is in multiples. Nkono kun neku. Nke gụnwa ị chọrọ ikwu nke gụnwa no yes agụ ọ na-agụ onye ọbụla ọ na-akọ ịkọ nke a mụ ejezie nọdani ya nọda na agwa m accountant general oke o ji ego nya kwụọ na solution is here bịa unu ya megide invite unu mezie m invite ọzọ m sị unu mama arụ adịrọ mbọsị a ọ na-abịa. Don't worry. Next year's own solution is here. I'm a solution. Next year's own, the deputy. Ndị nkuzi ibe m ka nche ka fa na-azọ mfe ekwere afa nọdịsịa nwayọ. Okay. Now if a man, very seriously speaking, as we live here, today is 20th, the Accountant General, what you do is that today, Friday, you pay the 2024 leave allowance. Today, 20th, you also pay the December 2024 salary.
State. Go ahead, please. 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Solution wa mama iye o isalo anaye ma ine mera ni yo anada wa mama iye Anambra iye go solution abia o go go ofe governor go iye ga mo solution iye ga so mo this ma only salon na e ma oye go
Chikotaban. Thank you. Thank you. Dalono. Thank you. Thank you. Guadalono. Thank you.
Oli.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Professor Chuma Saludo Kagu Executive Governor and Anambra. Solution Governor and Anambra. No way.
Thank you. Biko, what's going on? Thank you. Biko, Mr. Governor Gawasi Cake, I invite the head of service to come forward. Mr. Governor and the chairman and some members of the state chairman of our party, Biko Bianoka, Mr. Governor, won this public service cake for this 2024. Mr. Governor will hold a knife. Those only in a stretch their hands towards the cake. Biko, at the mention of the name of our Lord Jesus Christ, the giver of life, we will cut this cake. So can I make on your own? J-E-S-U-S. Jesus. Put your hands together for our Lord Jesus Christ. Thank you. Keep that, Mr. Governor. Just 5 people.
Solution Governor and Anambra.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, let's once again pledge our allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria with the national anthem. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Governor and entourage. You will leave, and we'll continue with the rest of the program, which is awards. Awards.